Hold on to your hats, folks, because this isn't your average doom-scrolling session. We're talking about the potential demise of democracy itself. And before you dismiss this as another overblown headline, consider this. A recent study found that only a third of Americans express trust in the government. Let that sink in. 1 in 3. That's about the same percentage of people who believe in ghosts. Democracy, for all its imperfections, relies on a fundamental agreement that we, the people, have a say in how we're governed. But what happens when that trust erodes? What happens when we view our elected officials, our institutions, and even each other with suspicion and cynicism? We're facing a crisis of faith, my friends. Trust, the bedrock of a functioning democracy, is crumbling beneath our feet. And if we don't address this crisis head-on, we risk losing far more than just our faith in government. We risk losing the very idea of a government by and for the people. Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the murky waters of political distrust. This isn't just some abstract political theory, folks. This is about the future of our country, our communities, and our lives. So grab your thinking caps, because we're about to unpack this mess. And while you're at it, please be sure to like and subscribe to the Clearly Thinking channel for more insightful content. Okay, let's get this straight. Democracy isn't some fragile flower that wilts at the first sign of disagreement. It's designed to handle a good old-fashioned debate, even a heated argument or two. But here's the catch: healthy debate relies on a shared understanding of reality. Think of it like a football game. We can argue about the refs, the plays, even who deserves to be crowned champion. But we all agree, at the very least, that we're watching football. We're not out here arguing about whether it's a game of underwater basket weaving. But that's kind of where we're at right now. We've got folks living in completely different realities, fueled by a toxic cocktail of misinformation, political polarization, and good old-fashioned voter apathy. It's like everyone's tuned into a different channel and nobody can agree on what's actually happening. And you know what thrives in chaos and confusion? That's right, folks. Distrust. It festers in the shadows, whispering doubts and suspicions. It tells us not to believe our eyes, our ears, or even our own better judgment. We're living in a time where facts are up for debate and opinions are treated as gospel. And if we can't even agree on a shared reality, how the hell are we supposed to govern ourselves? Let's break down the unholy trinity of trust-busting baddies: misinformation, polarization, and voter apathy. First up, we've got misinformation, the internet's unwanted gift that keeps on giving. It's like that friend who shares ridiculous rumors without checking their facts. Misinformation spreads like wildfire, warping our perceptions and fueling distrust. It's the ultimate weapon of mass distraction. Next up, we've got polarization, turning every issue into a battleground. It's the us versus them mentality infecting our political discourse. We've forgotten how to have a civil conversation. And finally, we have voter apathy, the silent killer of democracy. It's the disillusionment that festers when we feel unheard and unrepresented. These three horsemen feed off each other, creating a cycle of distrust, division, and disengagement. Now let's talk about the media, shall we? I'm not talking about your local newspaper struggling to stay afloat. I'm talking about the 24/7 news cycle. The outrage industrial complex, the never-ending quest for clicks and ratings that often prioritizes sensationalism over substance. We live in a world where information is instantaneous, attention spans are fleeting, and algorithms are designed to keep us hooked on a steady diet of fear, outrage, and division. And you know what? It's damn profitable. But here's the thing: when trust in traditional media erodes, it creates a void that's easily filled by less scrupulous sources. Enter the echo chambers of social media, where algorithms spoon-feed us content that confirms our existing biases, regardless of its accuracy. And let's not forget about our elected officials, the very people who are supposed to be upholding the principles of democracy. Instead of working together to address the very real challenges facing our country, they're often busy engaging in partisan bickering, fueling the flames of division and prioritizing their own self-interest over the common good. Is it any wonder that trust in government is at an all-time low when we see our elected officials behaving badly, spreading misinformation, and failing to deliver on their promises, and just when you thought it couldn't get any more complicated? We've got to factor in the echoes of history. From Watergate to the Iraq War, from the financial crisis to the endless wars in the Middle East, there's a long and sordid history of government deception, corruption, and incompetence that continues to shape public perception today. These historical wounds run deep, fueling a sense of cynicism and distrust that's difficult to shake, even in the face of genuine efforts at reform and renewal. Remember to help us grow by being sure to like and subscribe to this channel.